What's up everybody, and welcome back to another action figure review. Today we're checking out the NECA Raphael as Frankenstein's Monster Ultimate Action Figure. Now this figure is from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cross Universal Monsters line. As you can see in the logo in the top left here, we have a beautiful image, dead center shot close-up of Raphael. Love that red lighting blasting from behind him. Looks very cool. Now I love this artwork on this box. The entire packaging is like a work of art, and we're gonna check it out right now. So here is the front, and here is the side panel. So here we have the different figures in the Universal Monster line. Here we have Raph as Frankenstein, we have Leo as the Hunchback, and we have Michelangelo as the Mummy here. So, and of course we have, April as the Bride of Frankenstein. Of course, we're missing Donnie. I wonder who Donnie is going to be, if we even get a Donnie. Hopefully we get a Donnie, and hopefully Donnie is Frankenstein himself. So since all of these action figures are from the Frankenstein line, I think they're all from Frankenstein, but I think Donnie as Dr. Frankenstein would be absolutely perfect for him and very fitting. So let's check out the back of the box now here. And we have, it's alive! Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. He's been shell-shocked. Love the artwork on this box. You guys can check out how amazing it looks here. We have lots of product shots all over the place of Raphael. We have pure terror from the sewer. Warning, the monster is loose, and beware his shocking sigh. Again, love the artwork on this. It looks exactly like a film, like a VHS tape box, I guess, if you will. Very nice design of a box, I must say. So, and here we have the side panel, Nickelodeon branding up top, and the same branding that you guys have seen all over this box. So, and that is it. Now, of course, with all NECA Ultimate boxes, this does have an open flap here. So this is Raphael in all of his glory. Look how beautiful that image is, that photograph. Of course, it's a beautiful photograph by NECA. They always deliver on the interior image here. Love that photograph. That is frame worthy, but I'm not gonna frame it because I'm not breaking this box. So anyway, here we have the figure in all his glory. We have all of his accessories. We can see everything that he comes with. He is quite a chunky figure, I must say. He's actually pretty heavy in the box itself. You can tell there is some weight to him. First off, there's metal chains in here, which we'll get to soon, but he's a very bulky figure, very detailed. And I love these size, the lightning shocker size. Love that, love those. Those are so cool, and I love how they go. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into it here. So there it is. There's the packaging for Raphael's Frankenstein's Monster. I'm a big fan of this packaging, guys. As I said earlier, it's a work of art, and you cannot deny that. Look how beautiful all the packaging looks on this thing. You know what? I'm wowed, but I'm not surprised when it comes down to a NECA release. So let's bust this guy out of here and check him out. And here's the turtle of the hour, Raphael as Frankenstein. How amazing does this guy look? I am absolutely blown away at the sheer amount of details and just simply how badass this guy looks. There's just so much to him, so much to look at. There's tons of details all over this guy. There's textures, the paint job is fantastic. The articulation is actually really nice as well, surprisingly. I'll get to the articulation soon, but right out of the box, he was articulating no problem. I did have to be careful with him and like slowly articulate him. I didn't want to break any of the joints. I've been breaking joints left, right, and center from NECA. Overall, glad and pleased with the way this guy turned out. He looks absolutely astonishing, incredible, every word in the dictionary. Now, there is nothing bad I can say about this action figure. I'm just so impressed and happy with the way this turned out. NECA really nailed it and turned things up to 11 on this one. I'm a big fan of this line already, and it's just such a weird, bizarre type of Ninja Turtle, one that you're probably never used to seeing, and I'm glad that something like this exists. Now, Playmates did release the Universal Monster crossover line with the Turtles, so there was like the Mummy and the Frankenstein and the Dracula. There were those guys back in the day in the 90s, and here we are again. NECA brought it back finally. I think we've been wanting something like this for a long time, but we never knew that we needed something like this. So again, let's get into some of the details here. Actually, let's start off with the accessories. As you can see, Raph is holding on to one of his lightning bolt size, and I love the way they look. Really nicely done. Nice shape to them, almost dropping them. Nice shape to the size indeed, for sure. Good, nice thickness as well. Very, very impressed with the durability and quality of these size. I like how they're, you know, obviously the lightning bolt. It actually kind of looks like the rods that the lightning bolts would actually strike. Love how it's serrated. Just makes him look a little more dangerous and vicious. So those are the two sides that he comes with. They do go in these little metal slots. They're not actually metal, it's plastic. They go into these slots here. It is a little bit of a pain because the chain kind of gets in the way, but move it aside, slip the size in, you're good to go there. Other accessories that he does come with here are hands. Now he comes with two different pairs of hands. In the box he came with this one that he has on right now, like monster scary hands, as if he was like crawling forward and he's about to attack somebody in classic Frankenstein manner. So there's the right-handed one right there. I love the way that looks. I like the boniness of his hands. Just looks very cool. Love that. Great paint job on there. Now, I can't tell you how phenomenal the details and the texture on this figure are. Absolutely mind-blowing, even when it comes down to his hands. I like how you can see the structure, like the knuckle and the gross boniness of it. Very cool. A great paint job here. You can actually see some stitches, white stitches here in the texture there. Very, very nicely done. Love that paint job here. You can actually see it on Mikey, so my big hand's not in the way. On Raph, sorry. Love those stitch lines there. And the stitches go all the way around his body. There's stitches everywhere on that wrist, stitches in his pants, in his shirt, in his suit. There's stitches everywhere, but hands look really, really nice. So anyway, he comes with, back to the accessories. He comes with this hand. There's the other one. He comes with two gripping hands for his size. And then he comes with two closed fist hands, which I'm very, very happy with. These look very nice as well. Fantastic job there. The way it's sculpted and the details in there, just mind-blowing. Now, when I was putting the sai in his hand, I found his fingers to be a little bit too tight. So I did have to kind of pry his fingers apart and then slide the sai in there. But that's just a forewarning for you guys. So maybe you want to dunk his hand in some water just to stretch out, hot water, so you can stretch out the fingers a little bit. But other than that, there's nothing else wrong with this guy. But just be careful that his hands are a little bit stiff when you put the sais in there. Again, the sais are very durable and thick and just good quality plastic. So they're not going to break on you unless you're putting way too much force, more force than you should be putting into it to put the size in his hand. Surprisingly, he has big feet, but he can fall quite easily just because he is so top heavy. Any kind of bit like of a lean, he'll just fall right forward or backwards. So he does have flat feet. There's no bending or curviness to him. So line his feet flat on the table and you should be good to go like that. Even when they are flat, he kind of wants to lean back. See that? Look at that. Trying to lean him. So it is a little difficult to stand him, but, you know, find that position. But anyway, guys, there are all his accessories. Not a lot in the box, but you know what? This is like a specialty novelty figure. I am not expecting, nor do I need tons of accessories on a figure like this guy. So there's the accessories. Let's keep looking at all the details on this Raphael. I don't even know where to start, guys. Like, you can look everywhere on his legs. Check out his legs here. Like, look at all the details in the pads, the sculpture work, the texture. That you can tell that it's denim just by the feel of his pants. Like, insane texture and detail there. Love the stitching here. You can see the red stitching, of course. Brown knee pad, very well done. Love the softness of it. He is very solid rock. He is very hard in general. Now, he does have some soft parts to him, mainly his shell. You can see my finger pressing into his chest. That's a little soft. He does have that diaper mechanic a lot of toys are coming out with now, the soft diaper. And, you know, it's okay. I'm not a big fan of it, but you know what? At least it's very hidden here, and it doesn't look obvious that it's supposed to be like a diaper. I call it a diaper thing because it just looks ridiculous in my opinion. The bottom of his jacket here, also soft, so, you know, when he's articulating, his jacket doesn't impede any of that. Now his bandana is a little soft, so it doesn't have a wire in there. It's just soft plastic, so it just flows and does whatever it wants to do. Anyway, back to the details. I keep going on detours because I'm like going nuts for this guy. But let's continue to look at his pants. Just look at the stitch job on the back of the pad here. You can actually see some stitch work there. It looks nice and leathery. You have some staples, red staples or something, stitching together his pants. Very, very nice. Of course, you got the Frankenstein bolts in the ankles. You know, typically they're in the neck area, but right now they are in, actually he still does have them technically, I guess. So we have the bolts in his ankles and his neck, so very cool. I love the size of his platform boots here. They're massive. They make this figure look and feel so much bigger than it actually needs to be, but I think he warrants a big platform like that. Again, texture everywhere, even on his boot there's like texture to it. There's lots of texture on his pants, feels like denim. And let's just move on up to his chest here. This is a metal chain that is wrapping around the entire figure. It's a long chain just connected right here. It loops through the back, through this little handle back here, and then it actually connects inside the shell right there on both sides, or one side. It's just the one side it connects on the inside. I love it when toys and companies use real chains for their chain accessories. Very, very nice job there. Also very well painted too. You can see that it's kind of like crusty and rusty. Very well done and painted there. So let's keep looking at the details. Again, these little loops that hold in his sai on his shirt. Very cool, just like bolted or sewed onto his shirt. And we have nice buttons up here, some details for strain on wrinkles. Love it. I love the texture on the collar and the lapel. It's all chipped away, very Frankenstein-y. We have a little piece of metal holding his shell together, which is already pre-cracked. Looks very, very cool. And I love this little detail here, this little, I guess, pressure gauge here, and it's just connected to his back. I love that. You can't take it off or anything, and also you do have to be careful with these pipes. I always feel like I'm gonna pull them off when I'm trying to articulate this guy, so be careful, move them aside so you're not going to rip them off. And yeah, it goes on to the back to this dial back here. You can see that there's a little crack in the glass, and it's actually, you can't really see through it. It's so dirty and buffed up that you can't even read what's in there. There's nothing in there, just like a bunch of lines, like a gauge. Nice details in his arms and wrinkles here. You can see all those wrinkles, very well done. I just realized they're red patches. Nice, I love that. Actually, look at that little detail. You see like a little piece of steel holding his wrist together. Moving on up to his head, love the little bolts in the side of his neck there, and the stitches, like the happy face stitch in his neck. That's very creepy. Let's look at his face. Like, his face is absolutely insane here. I love everything about it. I love the shape of it, very Frankenstein-y, and how it, you know, protrudes up like this, you know, the typical Frankenstein fashion. Love his hair, the flat top, classic. Lots of nice detail on his hair too. You can see from that top down, you can actually see the fibers and the nice detail work in there. So very, very good job there on the sculpture. Oh, you have like metal stitches holding, I guess, his brain in there or something. It actually goes pretty much all the way around his head, and stitches holding his red bandana in place, which is ridiculous. And something I just realized, he has hair. Like, it just dawned on me that this Raphael has hair on his head. I never thought I'd see Raph with hair, but he has it, and it looks hilarious, especially on the back and how it kind of goes in that little point in the back there. Love that. Super cool. Love the expression on his face, the Frankenstein look. Love that. Look at his teeth. Yellow, disgusting teeth. They actually went in there with like a glaze and kind of glazed over his teeth to make him look wet and moist and shiny. His eyes are fantastic too, very droopy. Basically, like, looks like you just woke up or is, you know, half baked or, you know, has half a brain rather. That's actually probably it. The cracks and the pattern of the actual shell, the carapace itself, looks insanely nice. And love the coloring too. You can tell like there's nice browns and olive greens, earthy colors, some dry brushing happening in there. There's so many cracks. Look at all the cracks in there. Like the pieces of metal holding his shell together. This is the best. The sewer, New York City sewer piece or sewer cap is holding is you know, in place of his broken shell. Very cool idea there. Way to go, NECA. That's a very nice touch. Whatever this is, this handle looks cool. I'm a big fan of it. It's very durable. You can't like move it. It's pretty solid, hard, solid plastic. Very hard as well. Man, I'm just blown away at all the textures, like all the spiral work in the shell, like up here. Just looks so good, guys. My God. I didn't talk about the paint job. Let's go over the paint job real quick. This guy is fully painted from head to toe, everywhere. Like there's nowhere that it's not painted or dry brushed, inked. The paint job is so well done. Lots of weathering everywhere on him, be it the pads, the elbow pads, the knee pads, the shell, lots of weathering. The shirt itself looks dirty, like a super dirty gray suit. As you can see, he does have some dark brown nails, so I love that they captured the nails. Very dirty nails. He hasn't cleaned those nails in a while. Tons of dry brushing on this guy as well. This is probably one of the most excellently executed paint jobs I've ever seen on an action figure. But enough of that, let's jump into his articulation and check out how well this Raphael moves. Alright guys, let's start off by checking out the articulation on his foot. But actually before I go and do that, just want to let you know that both sides of this action figure have the same articulation. So there's no difference on the left arm or the right arm, left leg or the right leg. So I will just be focusing on one side of this figure. Again, starting with his foot, his ankle, you can move it up and down quite well. Let me get this in focus, there you go. Move it up and down quite well there. He has an ankle rocker that you can move left and right. Now you can't rotate it all the way because little pegs and bolts here are in the way, but that's okay. You don't want to be rotating your ankles of your action figures anyway. Now he is molded with a double jointed knee, but because of this giant brown knee pad, this is literally as far as you can bend his knee, and it's not a lot at all. It's hard. Basically, he can't even articulate his knee, but you can move it enough. I mean, he is Frankenstein. He's not going to be doing any crazy running or ninja poses, so I don't expect him to have the most articulative knees out there. He does have quite the mobility in his thigh. You can basically get him to do a nice side kick there. Never thought I'd see Frankenstein do a side kick like that, but you can do it, and he could basically do the splits as well. Another thing I never thought I'd see Frankenstein be able to do. And actually, I forgot to say, he does have above the knee pad swivel. Very cool that they were able to include that swivel behind the knee pad and kind of hide it away. Let's move on up to his torso. There is no articulation in this guy's torso. As you can see, it's just a solid plastic. So let's move on up to his arm. You can rotate it all the way around. Very nicely done. And it doesn't get impeded on anything. Again, be careful with these cables so you don't accidentally clip onto it and rip it off. That's my main concern here. He does have a nice bicep rotation as well. And of course, the double jointed elbow. Again, just like the knee pad, his double jointed elbow basically only goes that far because the elbow pad. And let's move on up to his wrist. There we go. You can rotate it and you can move it in and out. And that goes for every other wrist that this guy comes with as an accessory. So that's very cool. Last but not least, his head. Now his head does have really good articulation. You can rotate it left, you can rotate it right. I can't rotate it all the way around, nor am I going to try. It's very stiff at this point, so not gonna try breaking it or anything. He does have a cool, unique neck movement here because he actually has like two pieces of neck articulation. One in the bottom, one in the top. So you can actually get some really good movement. That's about it. There's not that much on this guy. There's only as much as you really need on a Ninja Turtle figure. You got your legs, you got your arms, you got your head. That's it. That's all you really need to be able to do. At least he can do the splits, so I'm happy with that. I'm never gonna pose him with the splits. But yeah, guys, that's it for the articulation. Not bad overall, right? His legs are a little lackluster when it comes down to it, but that's okay in my books. I'm totally fine with it. It is a Frankenstein figure, so I'm not gonna be articulating him that much, you know, as in I'm not gonna get him to do, well, maybe, you never know. Anyway, there's his articulation, guys. Not the best, but you know what? It is what it is, and it's great articulation for this particular action figure. Now, I just want to show you quickly the backing of this action figure here. You can tell mine had a little indent from Raphael, but look how badass that looks with the red lightning bolts and the red colors and the gravestones. Phenomenal. This is definitely something I would actually display my Raph on. Look how wicked that looks. Very, very cool. Actually, I might even display him with that. We'll see. Now let's compare this Frankenstein Raph with a bunch of other Raphs on the market right now and some other action figures, starting with the Playmates Raph here. That one's more of a joke for me. This one is the NECA Toon Raph. Next up, we have the Super 7 Raphael and the NECA Movie Raphael. Here we have the Storm Collectibles Scorpion and the McFarlane Toys Spawn. And just because I'm in love with this guy, this is the Black Series Star Wars The Bad Batch Tech action figure. Alright everyone, thanks for checking out my review of the NECA Raphael as Frankenstein's Monster Ultimate Action Figure. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, comment down below, and let me know if you have this figure and what you like or don't like about it. Are you absolutely mad in love with this Raphael? Hell, are you absolutely mad in love with this TMNT X Universal Monsters line? Now I'm 100% on board. I was 100% on board when I first saw this guy. Then I saw Leo. Now I have this Raph in my hand, and I couldn't be any happier of how it turned out. This is one of my favorite action figures I've gotten in a long time, and honestly, it's one of my favorite action figures I think I have in my entire collection. Now, I've said this time and time again, NECA are the gods at creating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures, and this one is nothing but perfect. I'll be posting more photos of this Frankenstein Raph on my Instagram, which you can check out at Claudio's Collection, so follow me there for more content. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you know when I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and you can catch me in the next one.